Today's episode is for the woman who is looking for a boost of inspiration. Like, I'm talking at your favorite juice place, one of those ginger and turmeric type of shots. That's what this is going to be like. And she's considered the idea of a group program, but isn't sure if it is actually worth it or for her. This is for the woman who is confident that she needs community. She knows that accountability is essential to where she wants to go next. She got big dreams and big goals, but has been feeling stuck for far too long. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Hey, I am Alexandra. I am a Christian life and business coach for female leaders. I have served hundreds of clients through both one-on-one and group coaching experiences over the past 9 years so that they can live according to God's truth instead of being led by limiting beliefs. I have conducted peer coaching groups for top organizations, I have a master's in human resource development, about 10 years of corporate experience, certified group, laser, master, and Christian life coach, and now with GCC. Can hardly believe that I've led 6 small group cohorts through 20 some odd gatherings at this point, and we are getting ready to launch experience number 7, bigger and better than ever this fall. Okay, so if you have been considering growth, God-centered growth, and want a little taste of what that could look like, are ready for some encouragement right now, no, behind the scenes sneak peek. This is for you. I'm not going to just share details, like that's not what this is about, of the program, but really the heart of today is to give you a few favorite takeaways too, so that you can leave focused, dialed in, and seeing things from a fresh light, because isn't that what happens when we look at things through the lens of God and through the light of Christ? So be encouraged, inspired to know that this can be for you. The caliber of the women inside is important to talk about. Like what you're about to hear, like this is the norm of what's on these women's minds. Like this isn't fluffy conversation. As much as we love that, there's a place for that. You can certainly do that. But it's a place to go deep and go deeper than you would on your own. Something else to call out about these women, like they are committed, they are bought in. And so if that's who you are or who you see yourself as called to be, like, yes, a lot of the women inside, which is kind of wild in the best way, are also one-on-one clients. They love and find enough value in GSCC to do both. One of them, her name is Angie. Hey, Angie. She is a veterinarian in Texas who loves this space so much that she has come back twice and is planning to return a third time in the fall. What she shared about this gathering was that it was truly so life-giving. What began as a space for encouragement has become a place where her faith, calling, and daily life has become more deeply rooted in Christ. And through the community, she's learned to slow down, listen to God's voice, and release the pressure to strive or to prove herself. She says that instead of operating from strength or anxiety, she's learning to live from a place of grace, trusting God's timing and His purposes for your life. So if that's something that you're like, I would love to trust God's timing. I'd love to hear His voice, but it's just not happening. This is for you. So if you've ever wanted to hear more clearly from God and operate with a confidence in His timing, and you're passionate about living focused, Flourish might be your next move, because it's a place where you're going to grow deeper in faith and community and approach work in a way that's grounded in God. So without further ado, here are some of the takeaways that just were such a gift to the women inside, as they were to me, from what I call our lightning round. These are from that primarily. So yes, you will learn and grow and develop in some significant ways, but there is brilliance in the room. So there is a session in there where you are called forth to bring the gifts that God has given you and share them with your Flourish sisters. So here are a few takeaways that came from that session. One of them is from Mackenzie. If you've been around here long enough, you've probably heard me mention her here or there. She's a colorful confidence and style coach. And she did a session on vision boarding. And what I love so much is a recommendation to put white space around your vision board, because she'd heard it been said to leave white space for God to move. I mean, mic drop, even if that is the one thing that you get from today's conversation, what would it look like to leave white space for God to move in your life? Think on that, act on that. You love to plan, but what if you not only left room for God, but you allowed God to do the planning? How might the fruit look different in your life? Wow. All right, another one here. The ability to pray boldly is rooted in relationship. Whew. So maybe you have a relationship with the Lord where you like, to pray here and there. Perhaps there's simple prayers or repetitive prayers, which are beautiful in their own way. But maybe you've been looking to pray with courage, with boldness, but you're not sure how to get from where you are to where you want to go. Hebrews 4:16 says, let us approach the throne of grace with boldness. So perhaps an invitation to take this like little light bulb moment a step deeper could be, what would it look like to grow in depth with your relationship with God? Think about that. That's going to support you and the boldness. Just like we can be more authentically ourselves with anyone that we spend more time with, it's the same with God. Okay, this next one. Am I listening to respond or listening to understand? Wow, right? Be present. And what also comes up as we think about this, taking this further, you guys, is surrender the outcome. Are you listening to respond or listening to understand? So this came up as we think about, we've got our own personal growth, but it's also about the people around us. Like, that's the beautiful thing about this space is it's not just a blessing to us, but it's the people we live with, we work with, do community with. So this is from like a spouse perspective. This one was kind of pitched instead of asking your husband or, really it could be anyone around you that you're in relationship with. What do you need from me? Consider instead, how can I best support you today? A simple shift, yet one that is revolutionary. This is from Jess. Jess, I'm so happy you shared this with us. The quality, this is from, fun little fact, my background is in a corporate HR leadership development. One of my graduate level internships was at QVC. It was so much fun. Retail's such a fun industry. But there was a book where the notion came up that the quality of our life is determined by the quality of the questions that you ask. Like, that is the heart of coaching. It's deep and powerful questions to think differently, to think more powerfully, to get you in a completely different space than you would have been on your own. And this is just such a tangible example of how a small tweak to a question can change things in a big way. And the next one, presence isn't doing nothing or the bare minimum. I know that hit for some high achievers. Presence isn't doing nothing or the bare minimum. Being present is about doing one thing fully. Doesn't that turn this notion, this idea inside out? So maybe take this further here. What judgments do you have about presence? How can you show up differently now and engage in being present in fresh ways? And then notice, put a reminder on your calendar a week later, what happened because of it. Next, your life will follow your most prominent thought. Maybe you've heard a variation of this before, but really I remember being kind of shocked and disheartened that there's a statistic that says 70 to 80% of the thoughts we have are negative. Oh, like a lot, the great majority. So think about, because of that, what is important? What truth is that much more important to flood your mind with? Maybe you look at affirmations in a completely new light after hearing those numbers. What is the most prominent thought? And is it one that aligns with truth? Next one, being with Jesus can look like being filled up, but it can also look like releasing. This is precious, isn't it? This is one, hey, Vonnie, if you're listening, she is a spiritual director. She brought this up. What can you leave, let's say, at the foot of the cross? What can you let go of to make more room for what matters? we can, and it's a beautiful thing to expect to receive when we spend time in communion with God. But there's also a release. There is a giving too, right? Like he takes so much from us, right? Yoke is easy and burden is light. What could it look like to release at a new level? Next, what would you be disappointed with if life ended today and you hadn't done? This is from Riley. She's a brilliant creative. She's a designer. She said, what would you be, she and her husband were doing some goal setting, what would you be disappointed in if life ended today and you hadn't done? What is that thing that came to mind for you? What would it look like to take that as a call, an appointing and anointing from God, and begin now? Next, what habit, if started or stopped, would make the biggest difference in your life at the end of the year? What habit, if started or stopped, would make the biggest difference in your life at the end of the year? There are so many great books on this. I've heard a lot these days about Slight Edge, if you're looking for one. I believe Atomic Habits is another. But like really, our days make up our years, make up our life. And what do you want to do regularly? That little by little, that adds up. What could it look like to commit to that? Because it's worth it. There is an impact. One of my longtime clients this summer marks 5 years together. This is Mackenzie. And she like Angie joined Flourish twice and plans to, I believe, back in the fall. She shared in this latest round that it was life-changing, that this experience was life-giving. The connections in this group will last forever, right? My background is in corporate development facilitation, so I get to take so much of my knowledge and expertise from there and bring it here, right? These are sessions, gatherings that are planned out, intentional. We are here, but for a short period of time. So my heart is to maximize in the space you are with me in GSCC, whether it be one-on-one or group, to maximize it for his good and his glory. She said that if you're on the fence with joining a mastermind or faith-based community, there is nothing like it. Thank you, Mackenzie. Like it's the truth, right? And what I love so much about these testimonials that I shared, I didn't even ask these women for them. They just went and they shared them, which is so humbling and just, I'm going to just say, speaks to the caliber of who the women are in this group, right? Like if you want to surround yourself with women who deeply care, who go the extra mile, who have big goals and dreams and want to do them in a way that honors God, this is the space for you. Okay, so today we shared a bit about what makes a faith-based mastermind, what that looks like through grace-based Christian coaching specifically. Maybe it's something you didn't necessarily have on your radar, and now you absolutely can't imagine not being a part of it. So here's what to do. If you're not already, visit gracebasedchristiancoaching.com/subscribe. There is a good chance I will be launching in the coming weeks a kind of an in-between mastermind. The cool thing is you will get to meet likely a lot of these women who were in the previous one, these brilliant, wonderful women. We're going to go into a little bit more in depth with work, faith, and community. And maybe even some Ask Me Anything hot seat sessions. So it's sort of like a bridge between this, the one that just closed, and then the new one that we're going to launch in the fall, which is going to be a next level of epic. So if you're like, I'm gonna wait for that, I want to do it in the fall and September, still join, because the email family is where I drop the scoop, drop the pre-sale, drop the opportunity to join first. Like, they are the insiders. So gracebasedchristiancoaching.com/subscribe. That's how you get in the loop on that. And that's how you will find out about this seasonal, if you will, sort of an in between as we finish up the past one and get ready to launch the next one. And if you are just so hungry to go deep and to receive faith-based coaching in a way that is customized to your unique situation and circumstances and scenario, and know it's time to do that, visit gracebasedchristiancoaching.com/book-online to get the link to apply for your clarity call. And I'd invite you to do that if you know it's time for that. So as always, it's so much fun talking with y'all. Just I pray you think about what you heard today, and if you had to pick one thing to take and move forward with, what would that be? What is called to settle in deeper to your heart and or to take action with? So check out our latest episodes. Let's stay connected. I can't wait to continue to share more Christ-centered encouragement with you in this space. Be blessed, and I'll see you next time.